Music has changed. How it makes us feel never will. The time is now to visit amstudios.co.za. Brought to you by Old Mutual.
Hi, I'm Mac G, and this is the AMP Studios Creative Industry Podcast, a series of masterclasses that are designed to help you build a business in the music industry. Proudly brought to you by Old Mutual. AMP Studios is a free culture hub facility situated in the heart of downtown Johannesburg in Newtown, with world-class recording studios, co-working spaces, video facilities, a stage, and streaming facilities, all free and designed to help young artists build a career in the music industry. If you'd like to be a part of the AMP Studios or check out all the masterclasses and content we've created for you, just go to www.ampstudios.co.za or send us your name to our WhatsApp line on 081 707 6636. That's 081 707 6636. Prince Kaybee is one of South Africa's most successful young musicians and DJs, his tracks having global reach appealing to a variety of different audiences. You may know him from his hits including Tonkinto, Charlotte, Friend Zone, and even Wajellwa. In this episode, he shares his experiences of being part of South Africa's music scene.
Welcome to AMP Studios. We're broadcasting live from Newtown Junction Mall. Prince Kaybee is ready for us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a huge round of applause for the first masterclass with Prince Kaybee. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's actually very weird to speak to people with masks on because the facial expressions, I can't tell you like what I'm saying or you like me as a person or what, guys. Anyway, my name is Kabelo Motsamai. I actually like Kabelo more than Prince Kaybee because Prince is not really my real name. You know, I just looked in the mirror and I saw a prince. And that's how I started with the Prince Kaybee. So I grew up in the Free State, in Welkom. I was born in Senekal, very, very small town. I think a few weeks after my mom conceived, she moved to Welkom. That's where I grew up. Went to primary and went to high school and moved from Welkom. I went to Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein for me is the capital of the Free State, where everything starts, moving. I don't think I'm talented in music because at the time I was growing up and finding myself, it wasn't clicking. Like I didn't see it. I didn't see myself being a DJ. I didn't see myself playing any instruments, none whatsoever. So to me, music is a skill that I managed to perfect. It's not a talent. There's two differences. You can have a skill, you can have a talent. Talent is something that you realize at a very early stage and you start, working on it. So for me, this came very, very late. I think I was in high school, grade 10. I don't know if you guys know Kenny Kunene. Any one of you guys? The Sushi King. Yeah. Actually, Kenny Kunene was my high school English teacher. Before he became the Sushi King, he used to drive a nice Golf 3, before the Lamborghinis and everything. So he was you can say my best friend, because every time after school, he would take me to the bus, drop me off there. He used to play a lot of house music. I was like, hey, Mona, what's this? What's this thing you're playing? I was like, no, this is house music. There's a song called The Weekend. I can't wait for the weekend. Yeah, that's a song that got me into house music. So Kenny Kunene used to bump this song, and I was big on soccer. I used to play a lot of soccer. So when we had our outings just before the match, he would set up like a nice PA where he plays and stuff. And I saw this whole DJing thing from him. I'm like, please teach me how to do this. But he didn't teach me. He showed me like, okay, cool, you can do this, do that, and you have your way. I dropped out grade 11, and I was very rebellious. I remember one time I took my Afrikaans teacher's car to the field, and I was spinning. I was crazy, guys. Trust me, I was crazy. So I got suspended for quite some time, a few months. And then after that, I was like, what's the point of going back to school? This was me then. Very rebellious. I didn't know what I was doing, and at the time, my mom used to stay at a small town in the Free State called Botshabelo. So I moved from there when I dropped out because I was tired of the whole, hey, Kabelo, when are you getting some work? I was a guy on the couch all the time, chilling. There was a time my mom gave me forms to be a police officer. I was like, no ways. I'm not doing this, and I left my mom and my kid. I had a kid at the time. I left them for like 3 years. I went to got to Bloom, started DJing. There was a club in Small Street. There's a street called Small Street. The people that go to Makufe will know this. Have you guys been to Makufe before? Anyway, there's a street called Small Street in Bloemfontein. This is where everything happens. Like there's like 6 clubs in that street. If you've been to Cape Town, it's literally the same as Kunja, what is called Long Street. Yes, the same as Long Street, just that Long Street is longer. Yeah, so Small Street, everything happens there. Literally started my career in Small Street, playing at a club with a Nigerian guy. The Nigerian guy owned the club. That's why I was so actually hacked when everyone was, the whole xenophobia thing like happened, because the person that took me in was a foreigner. So for me, it was a bit of a confusing moment where South Africans are like, all the people from other countries must go home, whatever the case. Yeah, it was a bit of a confusion for me, but he took me in, started playing there at his club, and I started making music. I borrowed a laptop from one of my friends, slept at the back of this club, started producing. My first ever big hit, which is Better Days, was produced at the club. I didn't even know how to play instruments. I was just drawing things, and I literally gave in to what sounded good. Anything that sounded good at the time, I put it in a playlist and do whatever, and then had a song. I released that song. Data File Host is a site where you release music for free. You can't really make money out of that because you're looking for exposure. You want people to get this song to get to people as quick as possible. Release Better Days. Everything started to pick up. I remember after releasing Better Days, I saw a show called Ones and Twos. It's on SABC1. I attended the show. I think from the top 12, that's when I realized this is now starting to be a big deal. People are starting to send DMs for collaborations. Industry peers, the people that I call peers today, reached out back then, and it was just too much for me. After Ones and Twos, obviously I won the competition, moved on, started making money, started gigging, started doing all these things. It was a mess. Everything happened so quick in my life. Literally, I started my career 6 years ago. And by the grace of God, what I've achieved is something that people that have been in the industry for more than 15, 20 years, they haven't achieved that. So I'm very, very grateful and appreciate the support that I've gotten from South Africans and people all over the world. Anyway, did Ones and Twos, started releasing music, started gigging, started making money. And I realized with DJing and with the amount of income that we make, it can hype you up. It goes to your head. It can really, really hype you up because you start from charging 2.5 to 80,000. Like, what? When did I get here? So it can really, really hype you up. So I call bookings future income. Like I gave it that term because I was having a conversation with one of the people that I started with. He was my manager at the time. He used to tell me all the time, Kabelo, stop spending future income. I'm like, why do you call it future income? Why? It's here now. It's in my account. Why is it in the future? He's like, you get a gig, you get booked for a gig, and this gig, let's say it's January, you get a booking for December. That's future money. You haven't done the service. The money is here, yes, but you haven't done the service. So I realized that most of the time why artists get broke or they don't know where their money is going is that they spend their future income. So you do not spend money until you have delivered the service. That's what has kept me going personally. Because I get to the gig, I still have the money. There was times before when I started, I get to the gig, I've already borrowed like 2.5 for gas. I don't have the food. Like I borrowed money for sneakers just to look good at the time because I've already spent the money and the gig is tomorrow. So I think one of the things that are depriving artists from being successful is that they spend their future income all the time. Even when you get endorsements, until this thing airs on TV, do not spend this money, Even when you do get the chance to spend the money, I mean, come on. You can't go crazy. You have to spend it wisely. So as you see the industry as it is, a lot of people, I remember there's a horror story when she came out with it. She was like, hey, they're cheating me, the contracts, the what. Like, I'm literally tired of hearing that story from artists because the industry is a give and take, guys. I'm not here to blow your head or tell you something, some fairy tale, or go to you can sign a contract with a label and you're going to make the most money. The label doesn't get anything. It's a give and take industry. You sign a contract that suits you, and then after that, whoever is spending money or investing in your ideas, your music, whatever, they also have to make money out of that. There's no way you're going to make money alone. So going to the tabloids, complaining without reading contracts first is actually shooting yourself in the leg. It's impossible to win that battle. So when it comes to contracts, I remember when I got my first contract, it was like 2016. This is 2016. This is before I actually dropped Charlotte. I dropped Charlotte in 2016. But before I dropped that song with Lady Zamar, Universal called me. Yo, we're interested in your music. Can you please come through to the studio? Let's have a chat. Went, I saw the contract. I was like, hey, there's too many big words here. Don't know what's going on here. They're like, no, sign. Let's do it now quickly so that you can start releasing music. I'm like, whoa. Let me just take this and understand it. Also, you can request for a more simpler contract, the one without the big words. It's going to be longer, but I think it's worth it. You can request a more simpler contract where you can literally understand each and every word, each and every clause, how you're going to contribute into the company, how the company is going to contribute back to you. Also, one of the things that people don't take to consideration is that you need to know what you want outside of music. I've met so many artists. I've had so many conversations with artists. Some of them don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know what they want in the industry. You meet someone, all they want is music videos. I want to be on TV. That's not for me. Because I'm an introvert, going on TV and being seen as the coolest guy or making the most money wasn't really my thing. I just wanted to make music because of how I started. I started very, very small. Like, I started on a low budget. So I don't really know. At the time I was making money, I didn't know money. So artists don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they want outside of music or within music. Hence, they can't really tell if the contract suits them or not. So you can simplify your contract, get a nearest lawyer or even the guy that gives you the contract. Tell them, in fact, I don't understand what's going on here. Can you please try and simplify this thing so that I understand it? So, and I've noticed in most South African contracts, there's a clause called world. In that clause, it simply means the company is obliged, like they must take your brand and go market your brand in other places apart from South Africa. It could be Nigeria, it could be New York, it could be Greece, Spain, whatever. As long as the world knows or understand the kind of music you're making. And I can literally count 3-4 artists that have managed to accomplish that, that understand that, that understand what the contract says, what the company owes you as an artist to go market your brand overseas. We don't really explore that clause, and one of the things that these big companies, one of the reasons why these big companies don't really entertain it is because it's a lot of money. Remember, when you are known here in South Africa, you're practically a new artist overseas. What you need to do to market yourself overseas, you need to be present. As much as you are present here in South Africa, for people to know you, you must be present overseas. What does that mean? It means you need to be there, book accommodation, eat, go around, drive around, market yourself, and that comes at a cost. But this is what the company promised you, and they must deliver on it. And people don't really follow up on that. And I feel like one of the things that actually make you hit the ceiling as a South African artist is that when you hit the ceiling, you're not aware that you need to explore other avenues, like outside of the country. It's not easy. I myself, I'm still struggling with getting my brand out there, but I understand what companies must do, to be out there. It's dope. It's nice to have a song like Google to, getting interviews, getting money and whatever. But what's next? I mean, what's next? What am I doing next? A song literally lasts 3 months on air, topping charts. 3 months is enough. And then what's next? You need to come up with a new album or a new song or new ideas or whatever the case. But within that, coming up with new songs, new ideas, whatever, you need to understand that you need to exploit or explore other territories in your life as a musician, which is outside of South Africa and, moving on. So there's a part here, create a career that can withstand the test of time. So I always have these conversations with people that you meet a guy, he's got one song, he's big. After that, you see him in the club all the time. After that, you see him like everywhere apart from the studio. Like this person, you see them everywhere, but not in the studio. So I've got a problem with that. There's no way, and you cannot achieve this. You cannot achieve a strong brand if you neglect the brand from the thing that made it, So if music made you, what are you doing in the club? What are you doing focusing on other things, I don't believe like when you're a doctor, you go to work on Monday and the rest of the week you don't. You go to work every day, you have to deal with patients every day. So as a musician, you go to work every day, you deal with music every day. So I've got like a schedule. I know I go in the morning. If I don't have any ideas, I just, shut down, sleep. I'm into driving. I like cars. Go on the track, do a few laps, come back and do some music. I make sure I visit my craft each and every day. You do music each and every day. So people are like, hey, this guy had one song and he fell off. I think when someone comes to you as an artist and say, in fact, you've fallen off, what's wrong, whatever the case, to a certain extent, to some degree, you literally know why, So it's like being a soccer player. For you to be fit and play all the games and avoid injuries and whatever the case, you need to be practicing each and every day, staying fit. Just same as music, you need to be in studio each and every day. So one thing to create a very, very strong brand, please do not forget what made you. You do not forget the foundation of your success. If the foundation of your success is running, you must be on the track running. If the foundation of your success is reading, you must always have books around you. So don't forget the foundation. It's like a house forgetting its foundation. What happens? It falls down. So please don't forget the foundation of your success. That's how you are able to withstand. I'm a very, very controversial person on social media. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've got opinions about a lot of things. I've got opinions about feminism. I've got opinions about finances. I've got opinions about JBV. And it can't always be that my opinion can accommodate each and every one, But I'm open to engage on Twitter if you've got a different opinion. And for me to block you, it takes a lot. Trust me, it takes a lot for me to block you. I don't mind people having different opinions. As soon as you disagree with me, I understand, okay, this person might know something I don't. So let's have this conversation. Let's see where it goes. If you don't know something I don't, it was good. Let's move on. I don't have to block you. We don't have to hate each other. We don't have to unfollow each other. We don't have to do all these things. So for a brand to be also very, very strong, you need to know what you want. You need to know what you're saying. You need to do some research on what you're saying. So when I say these things on social media and I'm being attacked, people are like, he's arrogant, he's whatever. Because people have got this thing, you'll go to, the quieter you are, the more humble you are. No ways. I know very quiet, arrogant people. Like that I know for a fact. I've got a cousin, very, very quiet. But as soon as he opens his mouth, it's crazy. So people think when you're opinionated, when we've got strong views about certain things, I call these people disagreeable people. If you are disagreeable to me, I find it more more nicer to engage with you because you've got so many things that you wanna conversate about, you know. So as a brand, as an artist, people look up to you. People are always looking for answers. You know, people are always looking, this person might know something. So we need to know what you're thinking. You need to know what you're thinking as well. You need to know what you say, you know. So on social media, I was just having this conversation the other day that there's certain things you must say. This all falls under trying to be politically correct. There's certain things you must say, and then there's certain things you must not say. Like, I disagree with that. You know, I believe if something I have to say doesn't cause any harm, and it's to build, it's positive. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Just move on. Also, I feel like when you have something to say, you know, people find it very, very easy to spend some time with you, whether it's online or going on a Facebook Live, because people know that, okay, today Kaybee might say something I don't know, and I might learn something, you know. So I'm that guy. Like, I'm always trying to do research, trying to find out new things. And as of recent, I got attacked. I've got like 2 cars that I drive, that are on the track. They're not road cars. They're not used on the road. They're modified. Tires are different. Like, the engine is it doesn't even, to be in that car, it's even too loud to be in that car. So this other time, I was tweeting. I said, all of my cars that I race with, when I die, no one is going to drive them. I'm going to get them crushed. Yo, it was World War I. It was crazy. Like, people were like, what? You must leave a legacy for your kids. What are you doing? Whatever. I'm like, what's the point of leaving a legacy of a depreciating asset? What's the point of that, you know? First of all, these cars are modified. No one wants to buy these cars. You know, my son could be someone that is into books, a lawyer or whatever. What is he doing with a racing car? You know, it might not even be his niche or whatever the case. So people need to understand that what you want to leave behind is a legacy. What's the point of a legacy that's going to last a few laps? You know, literally the car is going to last a few laps. I've crashed quite a number of times on the track, you know. I've crashed quite a number of times, and I've built cars, but I'm not hurt by the grace of God. So what's the point of doing that? So when you're trying to leave a legacy, like, I've got a project called Project Hope, where I took like 10 ladies on social media, and we compiled an album, and all the proceeds, the income from the album, will go to them. And my following that I've accomplished, I've invested in them. You know, so for me, that's a legacy. That's future income. You know, they can release music now. Everyone knows who they are, and whatever the case, you know, they can move forward trying to build these big brands. So whenever you're trying to think, okay, I'm going to be a brand, I'm going to leave a legacy behind, you need to like think about things that are going to live a bit longer. Like, as also, I'm one person that you guys might say, this one is crazy. I don't believe in property. I honestly don't believe in having like loads and loads and loads of properties. And, you know, people are rich from that, yes, but here's my point. Property is nice when it's a fix-up. You see an ugly building, you fix it up, you sell it, it's none of your business, you get your profit, you are gone. This thing of saying, hey, I'm going to start flats here, and I'm going to rent this thing out, I'm going to get money. I've got quite a couple of flats back in Bloemfontein, quite a couple of units at a place called Willow Glen. It's an establishment for students, so they sleep there and whatever. 3 of the units that I've gotten as of recent is from people that are selling next to nothing. So someone said, in fact, property is the way to go. As soon as you get your money, you retire, go get this, put someone in there, you're going to make money, you're gone, you're going to buy a Ferrari, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not how it works. First of all, you get a property, you rent it out. Let's say this person pays 1.5. But now you need an agent that's going to run this thing. You pay this person, let's say 600, you know. The agency also for rates, levies, whatever, they take another 600. The kids want Wi-Fi. You know, you pay another 200. The carpet gets burnt. You pay another $100, 200. You take home what? 100 and something. or $300 every month, from a property that costs 300,000. What's the point? That's just me. I believe in fix-ups. You get a nice house, you fix it, and you sell. This thing of saying, I want to be in property, I'm going to own flats, for me, that doesn't work. So I've gotten calls, teachers mostly, because they don't work anymore. There are teachers, this thing gives me 400, and anything you can give me, let's go. I'm like, really, anything? She's like, yeah, anything. And then I just buy, because I don't believe I'm an entrepreneur. I believe I'm a guy who's interested in a lot of things. Like, I've got a lot of interests, but I'm not an entrepreneur. I think being an entrepreneur is something way bigger than what I do. I just see something I'm interested in. I'm thinking of profit. I go to it, I execute, and I'm out. Also, I've got a very, very, very intelligent accountant. He's also my friend. We're very, very close. We would look at things. We would look at businesses, investments, and I always tell him, I want tangible income. I want income now. I want income now to build, and I'm out. So he's like, okay, KB, let's look at things that will give you income now, and let's work around it.
I hope you're enjoying this episode of AMP Studios Music Industry Podcast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these.
The global pandemic has exposed the fact that many of us are ill-prepared for rainy days. Entertainers in general are among the hardest hit. We need to save for rainy days. We need to have a financial plan in place. We have all learned many lessons, especially around our finances. So let's make use of this time to reflect and plan for any future rainy days. You might not have been prepared for this one, but it doesn't mean that you cannot plan for the next one. Live within your means. Don't go overboard. There's no need to impress anyone. Don't owe anybody any success but yourself. Let's all plan for tomorrow. Speak to a financial advisor. And this is the reason we partnered with MTV to provide these tips and for you to achieve your exceptionally best future.
Music has changed. How it makes us feel never will. The time is now to visit amstudios.co.za. Brought to you by Old Mutual.
Welcome back. Let's get back into this week's AMP Studios Music Industry Podcast.
With having an accountant, you get to learn a lot. There's a thing called a corporate structure. I don't know if you guys know what's a corporate structure. Any of you know what's a corporate structure? Okay, a corporate structure is a structure called a trust. So when you have a trust, you have trustees and you have beneficiaries. So let's say, for instance, I own trucks, I own properties, I own Legends Barber, I own AMPD Studios, and all these things are under a corporate structure, are under a trust. So what we do with a corporate structure, in simple terms, we say we preserve your wealth. So when you preserve your wealth, you are literally saying, in my will, there will be a corporate structure. So anything that I own or you're utilizing or whatever the case, if it's under a corporate structure, under a trust, there's a few trustees and beneficiaries that are going to decide on these things, these assets that you own when you are not around anymore. So who are the beneficiaries? Who are the trustees? Your mother, your girlfriend, your kids. And you need people that are not going to think with their heart, but with their mind. So you need someone out of the family. Could be your lawyer. It could be your accountant. Someone with a sound mind, because when you die, people start fighting. Yeah, you must give me this, you must give me that. So you need someone with a sound mind, to literally, neutralize everyone according to the trust, according to what you have left. So beneficiaries and trustees make decisions accordingly from the will. So the trust and the will must correlate. It must say the same thing. The will must say, I'm leaving this and this to this. And then the trust also must say, all the assets in the trust, according to the will. You are leaving so and so, AMPD, whatever, the trucks and whatever, you're leaving them to this person. So that's also very, 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 very important. A corporate structure is very important. It's a bit expensive to start one. If you've got a lawyer, then you start making a lot of money. they'll tell you to, I think the first thing that they would advise you to do is to have a corporate structure, have a trust where everything that you own is in. You are going to be a beneficiary as well. You are going to be a trustee as well in the trust. And then if maybe you're still around and you're trying to make decisions to move things around, you're also in the conversation where you decide who gets what and what happens. Next is building your brand. Building a brand is something that there's no like direct book that you can, that I've seen where I can say, okay, according to this book, from that, you are going to have a successful brand. Why am I saying this? Because building a brand, there's so many things that people don't prep you for, that you encounter when you're building a brand. Literally, one of the things I used to struggle with my brand is looking at people in the eye when I perform. Like I would do a whole hour set like this. And that's like, you don't even know, you can't read the crowd, you don't even know what the crowd is doing, you don't even know what they like, you can't even tell who's the tallest in the crowd, you can't tell anything. So I used to struggle with that a lot, and no one told me that when you DJ, you need to have eye contact, you need to interact with your crowd, you need to understand what people like, what they're moving to, whatever the case may be. So these are things that you encounter as you partake in building your brand. But one thing that you need as a foundation when you build your brand is the discipline. The discipline in let's say you're a performing artist, the discipline in preparation, the discipline in, I don't know, like I'm a DJ, so I don't have an entourage, I don't have a lot of people. Most of my shows I do alone, actually, because I love driving. So most of my shows I do alone, but the discipline in being on time, discipline in, everyone has got a tech rider. A tech rider is the things that you want when you perform. It's the keyboards, it's the Red Bulls, the water, it's the food that you eat, it's the CDJs that you want, it's a stage. Do you want a mobile stage? Do you want your stage to be there the whole time? Do you want a mic? Do you want 2 mics? That's a tech rider. So the discipline in the tech rider as well. You can't get to a show and then you see a few girls there, you're like, I want more champagne. Like, I'm fit. Your tech rider says 1 Red Bull, 1 water, and. So it's the discipline in that, and you tend to lose clients when you are peasant like that. When you are peasantly making choices on the spot, you lose clients. You get to a show, all of a sudden you want more than what the tech riders say. Trust me, that promoter is not going to book you again because there's a lot of DJs. I can literally just book Heavy K and he will play, the crowd will be crazy, So you need discipline in building your brand. Another thing in building your brand, I'm literally going to go back, guys. The foundation. Don't forget the foundation, the music. I got to a point where I don't prepare anymore when I go for a set because I'm so instilled in the music. Everything is organic, everything is spontaneous, everything is, it's the energy from the crowd, I've done shows. My biggest show here in South Africa is the 947 Joburg Day. It's a lot of people, 15, 20,000 people. It's the chills they give you, When you're instilled in the music, whatever the crowd gives you, you're able to multiply that and give it back, So think about it this way. You get on stage, you see 20,000 people. They throw energy back at you. You must literally take in all the energies that people throw at you and try and be creative. Sometimes it's confusing and it's very confrontational because people are here and you must act now. You must come up with new things. Because I know my fans, they follow me. They're like, Kaybee, you can't play that last set. We want something new. So I try very hard when I get the energy that I get from the crowd to come up with some new tricks on the spot. But that is very easy for me because I'm working in my element. I'm always instilled within the music. You're not taking me from something that I'm not supposed to do and be like, Kaybee, you have a set tomorrow. When you say, Kaybee, you have a set tomorrow, you're literally taking me from the music to the music. So I'm literally living within the music. So I think building a brand also needs that. You need to be in the center of this one thing that you love. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, next is future planning. I'm very bad. I don't want to lie. I'm not going to come here and and be a very good planner. I can't plan. I can't do anything. Like when it comes to planning, I literally have to always. I remember with my booking agent, if I've got a show tomorrow at 7, I'm gonna ask her 4 times. What time is the show? What time is the show? That's how bad I am. So you need a team that believes. If you are bad like me, you need a team that believes in your ideas, your vibe. You need someone that understands you. So take Project Hope, for instance. I started Project Hope on Twitter. I posted a beat, and I was like, hey, I want someone that is new, that is fresh, to jump on this thing and kill it. I was looking for only one person. And then there was an overwhelming amount of talent. Everyone jumped on that beat. And I couldn't decide. I was like, there's too many of you. So I'm like, okay, it's very unfair to take one person. Let me rather take 10, to make it a bit fair. So I took 10 people. But what does that do to your team when you decide on 10 people? It means more work for your team. And no one that is around me, that is in my team, was like, Kaybee, 10 is too many people, it's too much money, I don't see us achieving this dream. Everyone was like, yes, we are hyped up, let's do it, Let's book studios, let's get accommodation, let's get sponsors. We don't know how we're going to do this financially, but we are going to achieve it. You need those kind of people in your life. The people that are going to believe in your dreams and your ideas. I don't think, take Casper Nyovest, for instance. I do not think when he thought of filling up the dome, he was like, easy. And he was chilling, no ways. It scared him, it was big, and he couldn't do it alone. There's a team behind him to execute. And it takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of planning to execute a big idea. So I'm bad with the planning. If you are bad with the planning, just like me, appoint people around you that you can afford. Also people that are willing to work for free for some time. Because I remember Project Hope when I started it, I was like, I don't have money for you guys, but can we start this thing? As soon as we get a sponsor, I will be able to give you something. They were like, no, it's fine. Especially Msaki, for instance. Msaki is a lady I featured on Fetch Your Life. First day when we started Project Hope, she was there from the first day up until the end, writing songs for these kids, voice training for these kids. At the time, Saki was taking these kids home with her own money, Ubering them to the hotels that we booked, so she didn't ask me anything. The album is out. She hasn't asked, Kawelo, so where's my money, whatever. I'm not saying don't ask for money. I'm just saying, sometimes you need people that are willing to wait for greener pastures. When we start, things are not really that great. But when an idea starts being big and whatever, income starts coming in, and you must not forget the people that have helped you. So if you want to do proper future planning, get a few people around you. Even my girlfriend, she reminds me about a lot of things that I need to do in my life. Even this morning when I came here, she called me, are you up? What's going on? So you need people that actually believe in your dreams. Next up, why is it important to be financially independent? Financial independence is, for me, because I love money, financial independence for me is being able to move around smoothly, being able to do things that you want smoothly. I'm big on investments, like I say, but I'm big on investments that's going to give me money now. I'm not going to wait for something that's going to give me money after 15, 20 years. I won't be around that time. So I believe in tangible income right now. So for me, it's very important to be financially independent because also you can make decisions for yourself. You can decide tomorrow that you want to, invest in masks. You can decide tomorrow that you want to invest in selling T-shirts. You can decide tomorrow that you want to invest in whatever that you want to invest in. These choices are more easier when you are financially independent. So you need to be independent financially. But how do you achieve financial independence? You work hard. You save a lot of money. Haphazard costs and spending is not the way. Clothes are nice. You can do the diamond walk there by Sentin and whatever the case. Those are nice. But spending money haphazardly like that, for me, is not the way to go. And also what deters us, or maybe what confuses us from financial independence, is the peer pressure. I saw my friend buy a Mercedes-Benz GTS, or a certain artist. I know Master KG got a Ferrari not so long ago. Now I want to buy a Ferrari. I need to look at my pocket. I need to understand where I am as a brand, as a person, as an individual, as a breadwinner. It's also it's very, very important when you're a breadwinner to think for those that are coming after you. You know, I don't believe if you're going to spend over your limit, whoever you are taking care of is also going to suffer. You know, so I don't believe in doing all those kind of things, especially when it comes to money. Money is nice to have, but it's not nice when you don't have it. You know, we all start where we don't have money, and we don't want to go back there. So for you to be financially independent, you need to sustain. You need to keep going in your hustle so that you can save more and more and more money so that you can spend money. But spending money, you spend on investments, mostly more than liabilities, more than depreciating assets like cars and other things that are not going to make income for you in the future. Marketing the right way. So because I'm very, very controversial, I don't believe there is, as long as you are saying something that you believe in, and you know this thing somewhere, people that like it are going to learn and build from it. As long as that's the case, say what you have to say, you know. So a lot of people are like, marketing purposes, Kaybee, hey, you are too much. Tone it down, you know. I've had a lot of these meetings with my people. I'm like, but guys, there's people that want to hear these things, you know. There's people that really want to hear what I have to say about a few things, you know, that affect the economy, things that affect teenage life, things that affect financial independence, things that affect your future or whatever the case. I need to say something. A few people might not like it, but a few people are benefiting from it. So they're like, that's poor marketing. I'm like, no, that's not poor marketing. You just need to like set the tone, like say it at the right time, you know. And like I said, not everyone is going to like what you have to say. Not everyone is going to like what you have to say. But you cannot now walk on eggs. And like, I'm scared to say this. It might offend this one. You know, it's for me. That's not how you are going to achieve. You know, trying to get a point across. So another thing with marketing is that people. Okay, let me put it this way. The chances of you stumbling upon success are 0 to none. For you to wake up and be in a pool of success without doing anything, it's impossible. It's impossible. So for you to market yourself out to people, radio, TV platforms, YouTube, iTunes, whatever platform that is able to take your career further, you need to do the work. You know, you need to prepare, plan with your team. Where are we going? What kind of music am I making? Am I making music for white people, black people, everyone, Xhosas, Zulus, whatever? You need to find your plan and execute it. So you wake up in the morning, you do radio interviews. You wake up in the morning, you do TV interviews. You go on a tour. You know, you push your brand. You make sure that everyone knows you. So you cannot achieve that by just sitting at your house and having things on your desktop like hits. Everyone thinks they have a hit until it's out. So you have a hit on your desktop and you think it will now fly to people. You know, that's my thing. So for you to market yourself properly, whatever you have, whatever resources you have, whatever little money you have, use it wisely. Market yourself, push your brand, say all that you need to say, whether it's on Twitter or wherever, as long as it's not harming anyone, as long as you are trying to put a point across that is very, very sustainable, something that people can understand, something that people can take from, something that people can actually take and go recite to someone else, to help someone else, to help the next person, you know. So we need that kind of, we need knowledge that's going to grow on people so that they can also customize it. Because there's a lot of people that I listen to, a lot of motivational speakers, a lot of people that have a lot of things to say about everything. But I take those things and I customize them according to how my life is set up. And then I just push forward. Lastly, managing, approaching wills and your legacy. When it comes to having a will, one thing that is very important is setting up something that is going to benefit people that you leave behind. So that's a will. So there's two wills. There's a living will, and then there's a last will. So a living will in South Africa, the statutory law in South Africa doesn't recognize a living will. But it's very important to have one. Why? Because I can be disabled, like all my hands won't work and I can't speak, and now I want to distribute things, you know, and around and say this belongs to my wife, this belongs to my daughter, this, but I can't do that. So a living will comes into play there, where now you set up something and the will is in effect while you are still alive. But you're still alive, but you can't, you know, you can't say anything. Like you can't say, okay, this belongs to who, this belongs to that. But the last will is the one that you all know. You die, and people come at a family gathering, and like, hey, these are my shoes. The other one is like, hey, that's my what. And then the lawyer comes like, whoa. Here's something that is going to be very, very easy for everyone. This is what Kabelo said, and this is what will fly right now in this meeting. Also, you're avoiding that. You're avoiding a lot of controversies. I know my dad has got like 35 kids. I'm the last one. Trust me, it's crazy. So when my dad passed on, I remember he had like a van, a Toyota Bakkie. He had a house, or what else? He had some money saved up, some investments. But my dad didn't have a will. Like, I'm like, but I couldn't speak to him. He's gone. Like, I'm like, this guy is so clever, but he doesn't have a will in place. Now this is going to be, okay, sure. Came the day of the funeral. It was nice. We were trying to respect the people around. You know, there's other people around. It's the funeral. Did that. Everyone slept. Zasha in the morning. So my older sister, her name is Anna. She came down to the house. I was staying with my dad and mother at the time. She came down to the house. And like, we need to have a meeting. I'm like, here we go. And then when she came down to the house, need to have a meeting, set up the meeting, called everyone. Everyone came in. I've got a brother, but not all 35 of us were there. I think there was like 15 of us. Others were hungover from last night, whatever. And then there was like 15 of us, and then the conversation started. Started very nice. Okay, since my dad's name is Tebo. Since Tebo has passed on, we would like to distribute the wealth. That time the wealth is a car and a house, imagine. We like to distribute the wealth, and we feel it's best if the oldest gets. My mother was like, okay, you guys have decided, because they have decided on the way there. So Anna gets everything, Kaybee gets nothing, the mother gets nothing. This is my mother. This is someone that my dad left. This is someone that, because my dad was very sick, you know. This is someone that took care of my dad for 6 years of his life when he was sick. Like, none of the Annas were there. None of the whoever's were there. She was there each and every step. There was a time my dad, I remember, it was the bathroom, it's my room, and it's their room. So for them to get to the bathroom, of course, they have to pass my room. There was a time my dad went to the bathroom. As he got to my room, he collapsed. Like, he was a very big man. Like, I felt poof, you know. And before I could react, before I could even go outside and check on him, my mom was already there. She was a soldier. Like, she was incredible. She was amazing. It's amazing what a woman can do with the little that she has, because both of them were not working, you know, but she was always there for my dad. So now we're having this conversation, and I'm thinking in my head, how about it? No one was here when these things were happening, you know. So I feel like why are people so entitled to having all these things. But that didn't matter because there's nothing in writing. There's literally nothing. We don't know what's going on. If Anna is the strongest in the room, she's living with those things. She's going to hit everyone and then take those things. If I'm the strongest in the room, I'm going to hit everyone. So it's chaos. So a will is very important in that case. But to cut the long story short, while we were having that conversation within the family, my aunt called and was like, guys, we need to have a meeting with the elders. So there's elders and stuff. And fortunately, the Annas and the other kids were very, they did respect the elders, and they saw things as I thought. Oh, my mom can't take care of this person for so long, and then you guys are taking everything. So they came into the picture, they said everything, and then it was said, and then fortunately for my mother, she was able to keep the house. Imagine my mother being kicked off just because someone didn't think of a will. You know what I'm saying? So these things are very, very important. We need to set up a will. We need to make sure as we accumulate wealth. Also, you must visit your will yearly, every year. I might be in love with you, and then next year I'm not in love with you anymore. I go to my will, I'm like, no. You know, so you must visit the will each and every year, guys. Please. If you have a will and you start accumulating wealth, visit the will every year. Check up on it with your accountant, with your lawyer, or whoever is giving you advice based on these things. With the financial strength as well, as you have a will, with the best lawyers or whatever, they tend to make it very, very easy for you to operate a will. You know, you can literally operate a will in the comfort of your own home. You know, they just send you a few things that you need to change. You just change them. They put it in the will. You sign it off. You close it. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
That was part 1 of this AMP Studios Masterclass. Tune in next week to hear part 2 on the AMP Studios Music Industry Podcast, brought to you by Old Mutual. I hope you're learning a lot and loving the series. Please subscribe right now to make sure you don't miss out on more. And if you'd like to see videos or access more content, or even use the AMP Studios facilities, or maybe just want to be part of our AMP Studios journey, go to our website. That's ampedstudios.co.za, ampdstudios.co.za, and sign up there. You can also sign up by sending your name to our WhatsApp line on 081 707 6636. That's 081 707 6636.
Music has changed. How it makes us feel never will. The time is now to visit ampstudios.co.za. Brought to you by Old Mutual.